Hello, air signs. This is your message for June 2020. You can check your sun sign. You can check your moon sign. You can check your rising sign. You can also find out which planet is more dominant in your chart, because that is kind of an important aspect of your birth chart. And because the planet that has the most influence in your chart is the planet that you should probably be looking at these horoscope videos about, either mine or anybody else's. So if you want to find out which is your dominant sign and planet, you can book me for a reading, or you can ask any astrologer about it. So feel free to get in contact with me if you'd like to get to know a little more about your birth chart and what are the major influences in your birth chart. And you can also book me for readings. You can book me for tarot readings. You can book me for birth chart readings, anything that's happening in your life and you want to know a little more about. Please give a shout out. Send me an email. It's going to be down below in the description box, as well as the piles, the timestamps for the piles, because we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius here today. So yeah, you can look right down below. I'm also letting everyone know what decks I'm using, and feel free to share, like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff, all that YouTube stuff. And I hope to see you around again soon. Enjoy your June 2020 reading. I'm going to start with Gemini, okay? Hello. Yeah, feel free. Okay, hi Gemini, how is it going? This is your June 2020 reading. And I'm going to start by showing you the cards that I got, and then we're going to talk about them, okay? So we have Magic of Nature. We have Serena. I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. Okay? We have also Rest. You've been working hard. Take a nap and get some rest. Look at this little mermaid baby taking a nappy. Releasing allegiances. The Two of Wands. The Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Queen of Cups, such a beautiful card, the Four of Cups, the King of Swords, the Two of Wands again, twice in your reading already. The Ace of Swords. The Page of Pentacles. The Journey card. The Masculine, Feminine reversed. And lastly, Wisdom. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm seeing here, Gemini. So overall, we are looking at Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about the reversal because none of the cards are reversed except for masculine and feminine. And I always make sure that my cards are upright because it just gives out a clearer message. But when it does come reverse, it means that we should really pay attention to the message that that card is bringing up. And for you, it's this card. It's the masculine / feminine. So I think what this card is trying to tell you is that there needs to be a balance in between those energies in your life. Noticing like what is it that's lacking, like which one you're using more and which one you should be bringing into your life more often, so that you are able to be integrated and not feel like there's something that is not being accepted within you. Because I think that the journey towards loving yourself is going to require you to be able to balance out different types of energy in your life. And if you are using too much masculine energy and your feminine energies are being neglected, that means that you're not loving yourself fully. And it's okay. It's just something to notice and be able to, bring into your life and nourish yourself with other types of energy that you might not be using right now. I have a feeling that I'm not sure. I mean, it could be that I guess it depends on the person who is, listening. I think you're going to know more if you've been using more of your energy or masculine energy. But there are lots of cards here that are about release and a lot about rest. So I think that perhaps the cards are asking you to take more of a yin type of energy, like more inward, more drawing inward. And the cards are just giving me kind of a more feminine vibe. Even with this King of Swords here, the King of Swords is a lot about knowing your truth, but it's quiet truth, it's inner truth. It's not like a King of Fire, which like comes out and says, like everything. He just knows within. So even as a king, he's still more yin than yang. He's not penetrating, he's not conquering, he's more knowing his truth. And there's like a logical ability to him, a coldness to him that can be beneficial, especially for air signs like you. So harnessing that type of energy is something that can help in June. And then I see the Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups, which I think another sign actually got these two cards next to each other too. Who was it? I can't remember right now. Maybe it was Leo. I think it was Leo. So these cards are talking about you making sure that you are sitting with your feelings and not trying to repress them by taking action or by, being busy. It's okay for you to feel things, and it's okay for you to sit with those feelings. And I think that sometimes when we neglect our feelings, we can end up, not practicing gratitude and taking things for granted in our life. But it's really important for us to practice everyday gratitude, especially with this card here. This the Four of Cups talks about someone who's sitting under a tree, and there's like this divinely divinely gifted cup, and the person does not want to look at that new cup. They still want to look at the 3 cups that are in front of them that haven't been filled, haven't been nourishing them, and they're just like thinking over and over again, like, why is it that, that these can't work? And they're sort of overlooking this other cup that's being gifted to them. So it's important for you to like notice what's around you and what you do have, that you might be not really recognizing as a blessing, but it is a blessing. So and then with the Queen of Cups, finally I just want to talk about her a little bit. She is, she is the queen of emotions. What does this mean? This means that she is able to sit with her emotions and not be completely, like, not die. Like, she's okay just living and understanding that she is part of, like, her emotions are natural, even if they're, not something that society would necessarily accept. It's okay to feel the things you're feeling, and it's okay to be confused. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel absolutely anything, not just positive emotions, but negative ones too. So yeah. I want to talk about the 2 of Wands because it came out twice. And I think that this has to do with contemplation of a choice that you might be making in June. And I think that these, this talks about 2 wands and you reflecting upon which one it is that you want to choose. But whatever it is, it's actually, either of them are luxury choices. They're like nice things. They're not necessarily something bad, and it's very much looking at the long term and what you're gonna do. Like it can be about traveling, even though we're not really doing that right now. But anything that has to do with like expansion and growth and looking ahead. And you can see even in this card here that she's picked her wand and she's walking towards her path, which is a path of rainbows, and she has like this beautiful hat with synchronized swimmer legs on top of her head. So it's very luxurious. It's very like pretty and looks like a great place to go. So I think that what these are saying is that you are making some fun choices in June, some good choices for your future. Picking a path for yourself. With the 10 of Pentacles here, this talks about the end of a cycle that has to do with financial and also just like stability, financial stability, but also like material stability just in general, like the physical realm, right? This is what Pentacles talk about. So, and the 10 is usually the end of something. So it might be that you're coming to an end of some part of your life that has been a lot about your physical reality, or your money or anything like that. So that means that there is change coming and there's completion happening in June. You might want to change a job. You might want to change where you live. It's just anything that has to do with the physical realm here is just changing. And you are heading towards integration and the path of the heart. So this the Chariot, it portrays a man riding on his chariot, being pulled by 2 horses, one black and one white. This means that, you know, again, with the whole balance of the masculine and feminine here, I think that there's a lot that's being asked of you to balance your life. Like, if you've been doing a lot, which is very yang energy, it's like going and getting and keeping busy and, you know, doing things, and like, and this is also that, you know, it's very yang energy. Like, you went and you got it, you know. Now, you know, this is happening because this whole thing, this whole world crisis that we're going through is happening because our way of life in the majority of humanity is very yang-like. So now it is time for us to be able to rest and to integrate ourselves with the other types of energies so that we're not only doing one thing. You can't only inhale and you can't only exhale. You have to do both, right? So take the time right now to rest. Trust that the money that you're worried about will come to you. And in fact, you might even, who knows, you might even have more money than you've ever had in your life because you might be saving more, you know. But like, take the time to rest and make sure to also connect to nature, which is, you know, very yin energy too. I'm seeing like a lot of like the world asking you to draw inward. And maybe you've been doing that for a while. But it's like the world is stopping in order for us to stop too. Like, we need to listen to what nature is telling us to do. Like, if it needs us to rest, we need to learn how to rest and trust that things will be okay while we rest, and that we will get our needs met, and that people will help each other, and that we will be just like, keep positive about, like, don't feel guilty for resting. Like, you need to rest, like everybody. We shouldn't live life in the way that we have been, this very capitalistic society, you know. Like, we have to like draw back inward and take care of ourselves. We have releasing allegiances here too. So I think that this card might have to do with you like letting go of people who have not served you in the past, and people who have been sort of like flies, or like taking advantage of you, or manipulated you, or, you know, just people who have been toxic towards you. It's important for you to cut cords with those people and come back to yourself and remember that you are divine and you deserve to be here, and that that you need your healing. You need to heal, and you need to rest, and you need to trust. And once, you know, things get back on their, you know, when you get back on your feet, you're gonna feel very clear about what you're doing, and you're gonna want to dedicate yourself to something. So this is why rest is important. This is why yin energy is important. It's because when it's done, right, when we do it, we come back on our feet and we're like ready to go again. There is wisdom to all of this, to all this, like trying to find the balance in life and trying to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in all ways, right? So, yeah, let me see if there's anything else, but I think I covered it all. I'm gonna just summarize it real quick. Nature is asking something of you, and it is to trust that you will have the means and money and financial, you know, support that you need while you rest and you let go of things that really hurt you in the past. The reason why sometimes we need to rest also is in order for us to be able to heal from trauma and heal from heartbreak. When we keep busy and we keep doing things over and over again, then we are just sweeping things under the rug, and we really need to focus on healing the things that came before. Otherwise we'll become like, you know, we start putting up walls and then we don't let people in because we don't trust them. But there is like so much more to life than that. And we want to be soft, and we want to be light, and we want to, you know, we want to be open for love and for things to come, even knowing that we can be hurt. But like, protecting yourself is important, but it's also, you know, like, sometimes we become this like very rigid person, and we need to learn to flow even when things are rigid, even when life gives us hard tasks. The Two of Wands, again, with the choice. You have choice in your life. You have like an ending of your physical like cycle, so something is also changing in that. You might also be focusing more in the future in other types of worlds instead of just the physical, financial, material world. You might be, you know, entering, I think, especially like because the Ace of Swords is here, like entering a new mental world rather than physical. You're not so worried about your security as, I mean, maybe you are, but like it's coming to an end in June, and you're thinking more of like how you can like create something new from your mind, which is brilliant, and you have a lot to offer the world. So it's making a choice and then dedicating yourself to it. Sitting with your feelings, not repressing them, but also it's all inward, right? It's not like you're sitting with them to like bring it out, but it's more of like sitting with them in order to hold space for yourself. Finding the wisdom within, like, again, drawing inward. Wisdom is the Hermit. So, and then integrating energies of that are opposites, like masculine and feminine, right? Remembering that it's all part of the journey. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Gemini. I hope you have an amazing June, and that you feel very loved, and that you feel very and that you're able to heal whatever it is that you need to heal. I root for you, I love you, and I will see you next month. Bye. Hi, Libra. How are you? I hope you are doing great. This is a beautiful day that I'm having here in San Francisco, California, and I am happy to be talking to you. This is your reading for your for June 2020. I already took the cards, so I'm just going to show them to you, and then we're going to talk about them, okay? So the first card is body movement. Second card is Shanti. I am the angel of peace. I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. Beautiful. Lion and lamb. The third card is pay attention, notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, and this can yield valuable information. We've got inner trust. We also have the card of death. We have the Star. We've got the King of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Swords. We have also the Nine of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles. We've got the Hierophant. We've got the Ten of Wands. We have again, the Death card twice in your reading this month. We have the Three of Air. We've got the Nine of Water. And we have the Four of Air reversed. Okay, so I'm seeing big changes for you, Libra. Huge, huge changes. We have 2 tens, we have 2 death cards, and a little bit of worry. But ultimately, the message is faith and trust and surrendering. There's a lot of like the need to harness yin energy globally, and I think that with a lot of the signs that I'm reading for right now, and I think it's just a global energy where the earth is asking us to rest and like come down from our very yang fueled lives, right? Like we're always out there, we're always working hard, and if we're not working, we're creating content, and we are being social, and we are, you know, it's just like always out, and the earth needs us to come back in, because the way of the earth is integration, and if we only do one thing, if we only take care of one side of one, you know, the wheel, then the other side, you know, it gets tilted and it needs attention. So over here, I'm gonna start with saying that, like, with body movement, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Like, it is about you getting your body moving so that you don't fall into this anxiety, despair that the Nine of Swords is bringing for you. This Nine of Swords is a card of the person who can't sleep at night because they're so worried and they keep thinking about things like over and over again, and they're like almost like sometimes it can even manifest from a place like that. So this is why we have our body. Our body is energy. It isn't physical, right? Like nothing is actually matter. Everything is energy. But it is a little more, it's a type of energy, it's a type of energy, the body, that is concise and it needs attention. Energy that's mind energy is a little more, what is it, like, it's a little less hard to grasp. So if you need to ground, if you need to grasp something, if you need to like sleep, if you need to rest, then and your mind is just not letting you, like, it's just like you're like following all these thoughts and you're overwhelmed by them. What can help you is come back to the energy of the body, because the energy of the body you can control. So if it's like cleaning up the house, if it's doing some yoga in your living room, whatever it is, move your body. dance, sweat, let your body speak in order for you to find grounding, because the Nine of Swords can be kind of distracting at the least, and it can bring up a lot of negative thoughts, and you know that our thoughts are very important in our manifestation and creation. So the more you take care of your body, the more you'll be able to manifest things that come from the place in your mind that's not that's more blank, and not letting like the negative thoughts like take over. You can let them be there, you can embrace them, but if they start commanding your life, then that's not a good thing, right? Know also that you are at the end of worry. With the Ten of Swords here, this card is a card of so it's Sun in Gemini, right? Your identity in the exchange of information. So it's like all of these stories that have hurt you, they are stories, okay? They are ultimately illusions, and different people would think different things from the things that you're thinking about. So we can always go back to that, go back to how illusory thoughts are, and that can perhaps help you come out of the story and more into the body. I think that there is a sense of being a little bit left out in the cold, or a sense of feeling like poverty, or even spiritual poverty. But Spirit wants you to know that you are alive, and that is enough. That is enough, Spirit. That is Spirit. You don't have to search for a lot more. You just have to be here. And you can let die all of the things, all the authority of great big ancient studies sometimes, in order to just come back to the present. Don't let really important ideas distract you from being present and being okay with where you are. Yes, you are going to evolve, like everyone evolves. Well, hopefully. But, you know, it is important for us to remember to like ground ourselves in this reality, and remember that we actually create, like our thoughts create our reality. And so like if you have like practice visualization and what you want to attract, like perhaps write down what it is that you like. How do you see your life in 5 years? How do you see your life in 20 years? How do you see your life in the next year? What would be your best case scenario? And can you write that down? And can you do that, but then step out of the way, so that it's not, you know, something that you're like demanding or begging for. Like there is no need for any of that. If you just let it be, let it flow, let whatever it is that you want like come, and just like don't become too attached to it. Life will bring you what it is that you want. You've been carrying a lot of burdens for a really long time. This 10 of Wands talks about that. And it's time for you to be able to drop those wands and arrive. Just arrive. Just arrive and let others pick up the wands. You know, like share the wands with others. Like, I know your journey has been really hard and you're coming into town like, holy fuck, I did this all by myself. But ultimately that brings you some sort of power. We have the Five of Pentacles, which talks about poverty, but then we have the King of Pentacles, which is, you know, he isn't even a boss. He is not even, what is it? It's not, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. That's the King of Pentacles. So he's got, you know, he's got the power. He's got big dick energy. Hello, you know. And he is right next to Death and the Star. So lack mentality, it's important for us to be able to protect ourselves, but ultimately you have to come back to trusting the universe and trusting that you are not alone, that you are actually not going through this alone, that there are lots of people going through the same thing that you're going through, and that everything is going to turn out fine. It is about faith. It is about inner trust. And if you don't feel like you can access inner trust right now, I hope that this reading helps you find that, because this is what the spirit wants to tell you. Your spirit wants to tell you, trust me, I got you. Everything is going to be okay. You know, it's not just you, it's everybody. Everyone's going through the same thing, and we're going to get out of this together. Okay? Let the lack die. Let abundance come in. Let it just settle in your life. You deserve it. You've done quite a lot. You know, it's time for you to accept that the world wants to, accept paranoia, right? Accept that the world is conspiring for your benefit, okay? Lastly, okay, so another thing is pay attention to the signs here. So you might be seeing a lot of synchronicity, a lot of, which, you know, just magic stuff, right? That stuff comes up about, and it's important for us to notice them, because that means that we are connecting to magic. And even if it's a little thing, like you saw a raven, or, you know, like, and it like cawed at you, like that is spirit trying to communicate. And so every time you're able to become a little more observant, the more you are connecting to spirit and the world, and that can help you right now too. Like receive affirmations that everything is okay. Okay. The Three of Air is also here. So, I mean, this is again like, in this deck, actually, it talks a lot about studying and learning something. I think that a lot of us are actually going through this energy too, because we are all locked at home. But yeah, it's like growing your knowledge and talking about it, and, you know, healing certain things from the past through this knowledge that you're gaining. Reading about magic, reading about anything that has to do with things that you are interested in, like symbology. You can see like symbols here. You can see this protecting dragon, the owl of wisdom, you know, death is here again, like letting things go. Like, how do we let things go? How do we learn how to shift our perspective, to shift our energy into something new that it will be beneficial for you, right? Sometimes we have to read about it, and then when we read about it, we start experiencing things. Experience is really how we learn, but it looks like you've had a lot of experience. You need to process it. There's also like, because you've been so busy in your life before all of this happened, there's a feeling of burnout, which I think the Four of Air is bringing here. And I feel like there needs to be like a centering, a recentering. Let me actually read this card to you, or just like what, you know, what it's kind of saying, because in the regular tarot, it talks about burnout, but this Dreams of Gaia tarot deck is a little different. Oh my God, look, I got it on, like, I opened it and it was the card. I love it when that happens. See, pay attention to the signs, synchronicities. That is one. I know it's small, but hey, that's what I live for. What do you live for? So the blockage here with the Four of Air symbolizes the importance of addressing distractions and negative influences. Sometimes that includes people and habits. When this card appears reversed in your reading, ask yourself if you have someone in your life that is always questioning your goals or creative ventures. If so, do they often suggest or imply that you're wasting your time? Do they always suggest reasons you should not do something that you know would make you happy? Do they interrupt your routine with any expectation that you entertain them? It might be necessary to take them aside and ask that they are supportive or silent, and that they respect your desire to work to a routine. If they refuse, then it might also be necessary to step back and decide if the friendship is a healthy one. To raise legitimate concerns is a sign of caring, but to ridicule or dismiss your goals as being unimportant is not. If a friend refuses to respect your boundaries and work ethic, then are they truly your friend? Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. And then I'm just going to talk about the last card that I'm seeing that I did not talk about here, which is the Nine of Water from the same deck. And the Nine of Water is about wishes fulfilled, but I am going to look it up too, because it's a little bit different than the usual tarot. So this, I think this is a great last message type of card. It talks about illumination, acceptance, openness, emotional enlightenment, strength, courage, fear, ignorance. Open your heart. Past experiences leave an emotional imprint. Shine a light on the source of the emotional pain. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, being busy, you can't really do that. But when you go inward, you are able to finally process the experiences you've had. So use this time to heal and to learn about healing, to like read about it, to read about the messages that the universe is trying to send you. And remember, your mind is just your mind. It's just running. It's going to run. And we are conditioned to think negatively. So coming back to the body is important, but also like training your mind, like exercising your mind to do something that it is not used to, like the contrary of the conditioned negativity that you've been imposed upon. Yeah, break the cycle, remove emotional hooks. Wow, what an incredible reading, Libra. I think that I'm like so happy that I'm seeing so much change in your life, and it's for the better. I love you so much. I am a Libra rising, so I get you right here. I've got you with me in my heart, and we are gonna totally get through this, and we are more than blessed right now, forever. I love you. Have a lovely June 2020. Bye. Heyo, Aquarius. How are you doing, my loves? I hope you are having an amazing time, and that you're learning lots of things, and that you're you know, resting, and that you're being gentle with yourself, and that you're learning things, and that you're bettering things, and you're healing, and all of the good stuff. I am here today to do your June 2020 reading. That's why you clicked on this link. And I'm going to start by showing you the cards, and then we're going to talk about them, okay? So the first card that comes up is the card of vacation. Only if it's in the living room, I guess. It's more like a staycation, isn't it? So the second one is Azor. Azor. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I hope so. It says, your desired outcome will come in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. There it is. You Aquarius sometimes can be kind of fast. You gotta use your patience sometimes. Let me drink a little bit of tea because I'm getting dehydrated. Okay. Next card is called Break Free. Try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn. Should be no problem for you, Aquarius. Then we have this Seeing the True You card. We have the World. We have the King of Cups. We've got the Four of Cups. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the Five of Wands. We've got the Page of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. We've got the Page of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands. We have Choice in reverse. And we have Integrity. I thought I had taken 3 cards of those. Okay, well, looks like not. Okay, so what am I seeing here for you, Aquarius? I mean, there's big change too. It doesn't seem as like intense as Libra this month. Libra got some pretty intense change happening to them. But I think yours has more to do with entering new beginnings and letting go of certain things that didn't work for you. Let's see here. I'm going to start with Break Free. You can see this dolphin is like, you know, jumping into their future, and they're like letting go of bonds from the past. This is why I talked about letting go of things, right? The World card is also here, which talks about a completion, an end of a cycle, like a graduation. It's not like a shock to you or like a really intense energy. It's more of like, I knew this was gonna come and here it is, and it's, you know, I'm like letting this go now, and I'm there's like gratitude to it. It's like a celebration type almost. It's not something hard to go through like a tower or something like that. It's more of like, it is now done and we are ready to begin anew. And what is this new beginning? This new beginning is a lot about you connecting to yourself, taking the time, you know, the vacation time is actually inner time, right? It's like you're taking your rest to be able to see who you truly are through your eyes and nobody else's. You are looking at yourself, your patterns, your wounds, your traumas, everything. Like you are, like you're looking in the mirror. You're like reflecting upon all these things that have happened to you in the past through the rest that is needed. This message is like so global right now. It's like all the signs are getting the same, like come back in, you know, yin energy. Like there's not a lot of like let's go get it, conquer, like make it happen. It's more like just go inward, especially with the air signs. Actually, the fire signs got some working hard type of cards, but these are not. These are much more about like emotion, and like I think air signs are really going through some like learning how to sit with their emotions and how to hold space for themselves. So I think that you, Aquarius, is definitely having that feeling. In the midst of all that, there's also a little bit of like you might be dealing with a little bit of conflict. The Page of Swords and the Five of Wands are both here. So the Page of Swords is they are the messenger of the logical mind. In this deck, this person is has cut through the gates of a privatized like company that wants to, well, basically they privatize natural resources, and this badass is cutting it open and being like, I don't think so. I don't believe in that. I think that water should be for all people, and you shouldn't be charging it. You shouldn't be putting a money on paradise, right? This is very Aquarian. Oh my goodness. So this energy, I mean, it's something that you probably, you know, come back to quite a lot. It is of your suit of swords, suit of the mind, suit of air, Aquarius. But it's something that in June you might be tempted, or you might be tempted to talk truth to people. Don't worry about seeming like whatever, like, you know, you are who you are. You need to speak the truth because you are bringing consciousness to the world. And you're trying to build something with others. So like, I guess what it's asking, the cards are asking of you that you're able to yes, go and do it and talk about it and be truthful. But remember that ultimately the idea is for you guys to build it together. So, you know, make sure that people know that. Make sure that you're telling the truth in order for you to communicate, and not because you're trying to create conflict. It's because you think it's important, and you would welcome feedback as well. If, you know, you would also want to know if you were doing something that was like bothering other people, yeah, or not bothering, or like something that was morally that could use someone's knowledge. Like if someone has knowledge of something, it should be shared because knowledge is information, right? So like make sure you let them know, like, listen, I'm not doing this to cause conflict or to hurt you. I really want us to work on this together. I love you. Like, be sweet, be gentle, be kind, but tell the truth, right? This is very Ram Dass. Is it what does he say? He says, be loving and tell the truth, I think. Something like that. I don't know. And I think that the more loving and less conflictuous you are with your word, and if you can dance with your words, and you can learn how to communicate with awareness, then you are able to conquer anything. You are able to make water free. I mean, it is free already. I know. I'm like, ugh, I fucking hate that people do that in the world. You know, they take something that's like not supposed to be worth some illusory amount of dollars, and then anyway. Capitalism, yay! Okay. So with this whole thing in mind, we also have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So these are two new beginnings, one in clarity and the other emotional. So you might be feeling a little more clear about what your path ahead will be, or at least what you don't want in your path ahead. And you are starting to open up more, like your heart, being able to sit with your emotions. There's so much emotion here too. There's emotion, but there's also like passion. You're learning how to sit with your emotions. You're learning how, you're wanting to open yourself up to love again. And you want like a healthy, beautiful love. You want something that like in your mind is clear. Like you don't want toxicity. You want like something that is nourishing and loving and caring, right? All of that stuff. So, okay. So, there are these two characters here. And they are very passionate characters, right? They're the suit of wands, so they're fire energy. I don't know if there's like someone who's a fire sign or has a lot of dominant fire in their birth chart that is sort of coming to you with a message, and or they were a certain way, but then they grew into something else. There's like a progression happening, and there you can also see that they're looking at each other here. So I wonder what that means. But this is someone who's creative. But they're not necessarily ready for settling. So I don't know if this is you or if it's someone else, because I feel like you might be more in an energy of like wanting something really deeply emotional and like connected, and that you're done with like this sort of like not settling energy. But I'm not sure. It might be that you're not supposed to be settling right now, even though you are supposed to be moving into something healthier than you have had before, for sure. So, if there are messages that come to you, like I think that what the cards are asking you here is for you to not let past experiences cloud your person, like your the types of relationships that you are going to have in the future. Don't be afraid. You've gone through something before, and you're going to attract to what you want, your desired outcome. You just have to be patient. And another thing is that these two energies are also very fast, right? So and the cards are asking you like to slow down. There's a lot of slowing down happening in the world, even though you might want to be quick about things. There's no rush, really. Like, you have your whole life. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? And you want to make choices with integrity, right? So choice is here and it's reversed, and I think that is talking about you being afraid of choosing something that you've chosen before that hasn't worked out. But you have to break free from that, right? Remember the dolphin, break from the chains. That's a song you should be listening to, maybe. Like letting the fear of the bad choices you've made, like, just like release in order for you to step into something completely new. And there's something about integrity also that has to do with discernment and discerning. I think discerning who, like, sometimes it's better to slow down in order to find something that is integral than to go fast and like find yourself in the same spot that you were before. Yeah, so be grateful for where you are right now. Practice gratitude. With a buddy, with yourself, with your journal, it doesn't matter. Like, thank the people who have helped you to where you are right now. Thank the circumstances, thank the universe, thank the world for bringing you where you are right now. The Four of Cups talks sometimes about the like energy of taking something for granted. So like every time you complain and you're not satisfied about your love life, which I think there's a lot here that talks about that. But it could just, I mean, it's June's energy, so it's more than just, it's not just a love reading, right? It's everything. The more you complain about things, the more you like are not okay with this, and I'm not happy because I'm alone, or I'm not happy because my partner does this thing, I don't know, whatever it is, you know, the more you are focused on this, the things that are not nourishing you, and you're ignoring the blessings that are being gifted to you. So the Four of Cups reminds us to be grateful and practice gratitude every single day. Because that grows, gratitude brings abundance, and complaining just keeps you stuck, and you need to break free. So you can't remain stuck from these patterns that don't serve you. Lastly, I want to talk about the King of Cups, which showed up in the middle of the Four of Cups and the World. So this completion, this and the gratitude that you're going to practice are going to bring you mastery over your emotions, and mastery over being able to sit with your emotions and hold space for yourself. I'm sorry for the talking. I have the garage door open right now, so it's like, neighborhood, hello. And there are people talking, but it's okay. I hope it doesn't distract you. So the King of Cups, you know, he is the king of emotions. He is sitting on his throne, and he can cry if you want to. I can just sit here and cry. It's my party and I cry if I want to, right? So it's okay for you to feel the feels. Feel the feels. It is important to feel the feels, right? It's important to live life in a way that is holding space for yourself and all of the feelings that you have. This is like a message for all air signs. So, dear Aquarius, King of Emotions now, work on that in June. Work on that in June. Take a rest. Be patient. Don't try to rush things. Let go of things from the past. See who you truly are, not from the eyes of someone else, but your eyes. You know, let things come to completion. Sit with your emotions. Be grateful. Make choices with integrity. Make choices with discernment. Don't be afraid of making a wrong choice. Very important. Start anew. Like, let your heart open up to something new. And protect the sacred. Protect what should be everybody's. And, you know, let people know that you're not looking for conflict. You're looking to tell the truth. And slow down when you talk. Try to slow down when you talk, so that you don't get into an argument. And then, you know, your whole reason goes out the window. Lastly, work on finding clarity and work on opening your heart. I love you, Aquarius. I hope you have an amazing June 2020, and that you're safe and protected, and that your healing process goes really smoothly. Have a lovely one, and I'll see you soon. Bye.